Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. I'm your host Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm looking at the Hot Wheels Star Wars TIE Dagger, released in 2020. This vessel was first seen in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Now, to my knowledge, this particular TIE fighter was only seen in the final moments of the film at the Battle of Exegol, and it was a fighter used by the mysterious Sith fleet. And I have to admit, this fighter has a lot going for it. I know some people out there were going, oh, it's just a TIE fighter with triangle wings. And it's not. It actually has a new main body, a cockpit, pylons, all that stuff. And it really has a lot going for it. For example, not many people know this bad boy had shields. The whole Empire, their ships were expendable, quantity over quality. And here we have the Sith fleet with TIE fighters with shields. Amazing stuff. Now, looking at the size of this particular miniature, this TIE fighter measures in at about 2.5 inches long, which is very good, and it does fit in well with other vehicles, which we'll see later in the size comparison section. So if you're new to the channel, what I like to do is check out the mold, get a close-up, see what these models have to offer, check out the paint, put on a stand, compare it to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. So let's get started. Alright, let's kick this video off looking at the mold. Like in all my videos, I will go over all the major sections of the ship, and then we'll get a nice close-up to see those fine details. So this baby has a lot going for it. Let's begin with the center. We have our cockpit sphere, looking pretty good. Transparent steel viewport, which is different than normal, but pretty neat. Underneath that, we have two laser cannons, kind of protruding out, pretty nice. On the top, we have some nice detailing with our cockpit hatch. Not painted, but it is there. Ion engines on the side, and in the center, we have a rivet, and there should be two exhaust ports right here. One's right here, and one should be right above my finger. Pretty good, and I like that they put the rivet there. It sort of works. On the bottom, we have our peg port for the stand, some code right there, our pylons looking good. Copyright crap, I believe, is on the wing. Right here, bingo. So all in all, a really nice looking main body here. I love the pylon design. Very nice. I think that came out great. And of course we'll have a closer look in a few, but well done. Now for the wings. These things are awesome. I know some people are just going, Dave, they're just triangles. But they're more than that. Once we have a close-up look, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's detailing all throughout. Of course we have our solar array panels right here. Or solar collectors or radiator panels, whatever you would like to call them. Pretty damn cool. Very detailed. I love the design. Now right here we have our, I guess we could say, armored wing brace. But it's more than that. It's actually the shield projector as well. So that is nice. A TIE fighter with shields, finally. Pretty nice. And the back, we have this nice section back here. It's sort of separate from the wing, but nicely detailed, and that's the same on this side. Looking very good. Now in between the two wings, we have some negative space, and right at the tip right here is a heavy laser cannon, and that's on both sides. So all in all, we have two heavy laser cannons and two normal laser cannons on the bottom. Very nice. For the interior, we have a rivet holding the wing together, and some nice details. Same goes for this side. So all in all, that pretty much does it for all the major parts of this vessel. So now let's get a closer look. Alright, having a closer look, we'll begin looking at the cockpit sphere and the pylons, and then finally move on to the wing sections. So starting up in the front, we have our transparent steel viewport. Looking very nice. And yes, all windows are recessed, which looks amazing. Nice touch there. On the bottom, we can see our laser cannons, some nice line work, the seam line for the mold, peg port for the stand. Very nice. Now you can also see some of the details are rounded off because of the paint. It's just the nature of the beast when you're dealing with a die cast. Coming up to the top, we have more line work, more raised sections, our cockpit hatch. Not really detailed, but it looks pretty damn good. Very nice. Coming to the back of the craft, you can see more detailing, and I love this section here. In the center where the rivet is, that's our exhaust for the ion engines. And the two engines are on the sides right here, these little raised pieces above my thumbs. Very nice detailing back here. I like this quite a bit. Very cool. And it leads us right to the pylons. On the bottom, you can see they're nicely detailed. Lots of supports and armor. Looking very good. And I like how the front sort of protrudes out. It's a nice touch. I love the molding as well. Great stuff. For the top, it's the same. You can see some nice detail in there. Some supports. We have our seam line, of course. But on the whole, very cool. Coming to the front. I love the detail in here. We have some line work. Beautiful stuff. Very nice. I think that came out great. What do you guys think? Do you like the body so far? Let me know in the comments. Now moving on to the wings. They are both identical, so we'll only focus on one for now. And we'll see how that goes. So looking back here in the aft, we have this nice structure here. Looks like a bunch of antennae. Very nice. Basic shape, but nicely done. And that goes all the way to the back right here, down the other side. Looking good. And look at that. Some very nice stuff. Minor detailing coming up and down the aft of the wing. But pretty good. On the top, it's basically just smooth. But for the interior, we have some raised line work, copyright crap. Some squares and rectangles, which look great. Nice little details throughout. I think this came out great. I love the tip here. Look at that. Great stuff. Coming down the other side. Beautiful. And I know it's very basic looking, but it works. And check out all the detailing coming down here. That is some great stuff right there. And we have our rivet. And back to the front. All in all, great looking piece. Now we also have our paneling, which looks great. Look at all that. Hundreds of little recessed areas. Looking fantastic. And looking at the top. Again, nicely done. And like I mentioned, it's the same on this side. Now moving on to the exterior. Again, we do have some beautiful raised line work and recesses this time going around. Some great stuff. Like the point there, very nice. Coming back down. Amazing stuff. And it is actually detailed all the way through. They didn't stop even though it's covered, which is very nice. And again, you can see the paneling, how nice it is. They really did a good job with this. Sweet. Now for the secondary panel, we can see some beautiful molding here. Here we have our reinforced wing brace and shield projector, nicely molded and detailed. Looking very good. Coming around, we have more recesses and raised sections. And some beautiful angles on here. And of course, the solar panel itself, which looks great. And what's awesome is, it's just not one design. You can see how they're bigger in the center as opposed to the top and bottom. Very nice stuff. And again, it is the same on this side. We'll go through it real quick. No real differences whatsoever. Just opposite sides. And again, I think it looks good. And it is detailed on the bottom as well. That is really shocking. I'm really surprised they did it. I'm actually a little speechless there. Very nice stuff. And speaking of the negative space and inside the wing, we also have right here a laser cannon, which is again molded very nicely. You know, for what it is, I think they did a decent job. You can see the barrel right there at the tip. Looking good. Again, it's the same for this side. A very nice addition. Really cool, right? So that's basically everything for the mold. Looking sharp. So that's everything I have to say about the mold. Hopefully I covered everything. It's a really unique ship. Lots of negative space and beautiful molding. So now let's check out the paint. And now looking at that paint on the Hot Wheels Star Wars TIE Dagger, this baby features about 6 different colors. And I have to say, the main color I'm very happy with, which is a beautiful dark gray. I think it was a great color choice. It goes well with the black and also the red. Fantastic in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Great color choice. Moving on from there, we have our transparent steel viewport, which is about a charcoal, a maroon, and a glossy black. And I think everything works pretty well. Pretty interesting. It's not the TIE Fighter cockpit window we know and love, but it's something new and different, so I'm digging it. And of course, there's no paint on the cockpit hatch, which is a shame, but whatever, it's a brand new mold, and the paint's pretty good on it so far. Moving on from there, we do have, I guess it's an orangey red for the laser cannons on the bottom, which looks pretty good, nice and shiny. Then we have black for the paneling, which looks very nice, and if you look in there, the paint goes all the way through, which is nice, and that's on the outsides and the insides, which is pretty nice. Groovy. And the last color we have is a beautiful bright red, and that is on the wing tips, the sides if you will, and it looks fantastic. Now there's one little paint mishap right here, but besides that little thing right there, that little, I guess we could call it like a drip, this is amazing. I think the red really stands out on the gray. I know one of my subscribers, Kiwi, pointed that out. And dude, you're absolutely right. The red really works with this. And it sort of makes it more predatory, which, that's the point. It's a killer. This is designed to destroy fighters and other craft, and it works. A beautiful paint job, in my opinion. So that does it for the mold as well as the paint. So now let's put this baby back on a stand compared to some other vehicles, and then we'll be done. So just like other Hot Wheels ships, it comes with a translucent stand. Now I was hoping it was going to have a Sith emblem on there, but it's just a first order emblem. What are you going to do? So take the stand, peg it in the port like so, hear that click, and just like that everybody, you are good to go. And now for a quick size comparison with the Hot Wheels Star Wars TIE Dagger, I have it next to some other Hot Wheels Star Wars vessels. First, on the right-hand side, we have the Imperial TIE Interceptor, a fantastic looking ship. And finally, on the left-hand side, we have the TIE Silencer, which is another great ship. The only flaw it has is that its wings like to warp close together. You could fix that with some hot water or a hairdryer. Mine were pretty bad, and you could see that, I just shot it with the hairdryer, tried to mold it and cool it off real quick in water, and it basically went back to the normal shape. But still, warping is a problem. Regardless, these are some great looking vehicles, and if you want to see reviews of any of these ships I showed today, check the links in the description below. And that does it today for my review of the Hot Wheels Star Wars TIE Dagger, released in 2020. So for the mold, at first glance, it may seem very basic, triangles on the sides and a TIE fighter body, but it's much more than that, and what the designers did here, in my opinion, works beautifully. Lots of small details, a very cool design, and what really strikes me about this, besides the negative space on the wings, is the way the designers hid the rivets. We have 2 on the wings. I'm sure there's some hidden underneath the secondary wing panels holding the pylons on, and also we do have one in the aft of the TIE Fighter, which holds it together, and it's in right where the exhaust port should be, and that was a great idea. Moving on to the paint, I really enjoy the paint scheme here. The gray works, the red really pops, the black is nice. The only mishap we have on here is on the left-hand side of the wing. Besides that, I think it's great, and this really does pop compared to other TIE Fighters in the collection, so well done there. And you can't forget, it's a Hot Wheels ship, so it does come with a translucent stand to help it blend in with the rest of the collection. So that's everything I have to say today. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button and show me some love in the comments. And as always, if you would like to see new videos every Thursday, subscribe. Again, from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my content. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody!